Well, if we start talking about China, it's kind of a never-ending topic for discussion. It has too much dominance over things which made China feel superior to other countries, and sometimes he talks out of boundaries as well. Don't you agree? China wants to take over half of the world and wants to dominate all. Talking about the Taiwan-China tension, it has a huge history of its own. Hello and welcome back to Studying Scholar, you all. If you want to know why this topic is making headlines again, please do watch the whole video. Without any further delay, let's get started. The visit of U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan has angered China, which in response has announced extensive military drills close to the independent island. Pelosi's trip to Taiwan, which is separated from the Chinese mainland by a sea passage and has had a tumultuous past, is the most recent diplomatic spat between China and the U.S. about the region. What do you need to know about the Australia-Taiwan issue? What is China saying in response to Pelosi's visit? China launched military exercises in retaliation for Pelosi's visit, and according to the Chinese Ministry of Defense, these operations got underway on Wednesday with maneuvers in the air and on the waters around Taiwan. The number of Chinese warplane incursions into Taiwan's air defense identification zone and the number of planes crossing the median line dividing the Taiwan Strait on Wednesday, according to Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense, was unprecedented since Taiwan started disclosing information about China's air incursions to the public about 2 years ago. Additionally, China has halted the sale of sand to Taiwan as well as the import of several seafood products and citrus fruits from Taiwan. Beijing had already issued ominous warnings about the trip's potential outcomes, even going so far as to warn U.S. President Joe Biden that anyone who played with fire would perish by it. The background of Taiwan, the Republic of China, Taiwan's official name, was established on the Chinese mainland in 1911 following the fall of the country's final imperial dynasty. The Communist Party of China Army defeated the Nationalist Party, or Kuomintang, in a violent civil war in 1949, and the KMT fled to Taiwan, an island off the southeast coast of mainland China. The People's Republic of China was proclaimed to exist later that same year from Beijing's Tiananmen Gate by Communist leader Mao Zedong. Since then, the two sides have been administered, although they share the same cultural and linguistic background, with Mandarin being the official language in both locations. Why does China have this strong desire for Taiwan? Even though the Chinese Communist Party has never held power in Taiwan, Beijing considers the island to be an indivisible component of the Chinese territory. President Xi Jinping of China has committed to pursuing reunification with Taiwan through democratic and constitutional means. During a speech given in 2021, Xi stated that the Taiwan Independence Force was the most significant barrier to the reunification of China. Those who forget their heritage, betray their nation, and strive to split the country will come to no good, warned Xi. Those who aim to divide the country will succeed only in their destruction. He expressed his desire for a peaceful reunion to take place by a policy of one country, two systems, which is analogous to the one taken in Hong Kong. Taiwan generally holds a negative view of the system of governance. Since the 1990s, Taiwan has developed into a robust democracy, with the two main political parties, the Kuomintang and the opposition Democratic Progressive Party, trading triumphs in presidential elections. Taiwan has a population of more than 23 million people. Well, the question can be, who acknowledges Taiwan? The People's Republic of China, the communist regime that seized power on the mainland, was voted to be recognized by the UN as the sole legitimate representative of China 50 years ago. Only 14 countries currently recognize Taiwan, and as a result, China and Taiwan have no official relations. The following countries are included: Belize, Guatemala, Haiti, Holy See, Honduras, Marshall Islands, Nauru, Palau, Paraguay, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Swaziland, and Tuvalu. The U.S. switched its formal diplomatic recognition from Taipei to Beijing in 1979, joining a growing number of other countries to do so. Washington recognizes the PRC as the only legal government of China under its One China policy, and it accepts Beijing's view that Taiwan is a part of China, but it has never recognized the CCP's claim to sovereignty over the island. Under the rules of the long-standing Taiwan Relations Act, the U.S. has maintained strong informal connections with Taiwan throughout the years, fostering trade, culture, and other interactions through the American Institute in Taiwan, which serves as the de facto U.S. embassy in Taipei. Does China have the military might necessary to invade Taiwan? After years of increasing its spending on the military, China now has the world's second-largest defense budget, totaling over $290 billion this year, behind only that of the United States. Because of this, modern military systems such as the J-20 stealth fighter, hypersonic missiles, and 2 plane carriers, with a third one currently under construction, have been able to be developed. It has fueled concern about China's intentions with Taiwan, raising doubts about how the world may react should it launch an attack. China's tacit backing for Russia's war on Ukraine has contributed to the conflict in Ukraine. Since Russia deployed its troops into Ukraine on February 24, China has made it clear that it will not criticize Russia's action. Instead, China has refused to criticize Russia's action, pointing the finger of blame at the US and NATO for provoking Moscow. China has also condemned the punitive sanctions that have been imposed on Moscow. The government of Taiwan has increased its combat readiness as well as its preparations for battle as a result of concerns about the possibility of an invasion. According to a study that was published by the U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission the previous year, China has increased its arsenal by adding new missiles and amphibious ships. These are key weapons that are required in an attempt to cross the 200-kilometer-long Taiwan Strait to reach the island. What part does the U.S. play in protecting Taiwan? Well, China always has a problem with the USA, and thinking of China spying on the USA can be a possibility. So Washington has supported Taiwan militarily and politically, while being mum on whether it would defend itself if attacked by China. As tensions between the little democratic island and its neighboring authoritarian behemoth grew, U.S. President Joe Biden's threat to defend Taiwan against the Chinese attack made headlines around the world in May 2022. Although there are no U.S. bases in Taiwan, U.S. officials acknowledged in 2017 that Taiwan's special forces have been training there for more than a year, including recent maritime operations with Marine commandos. According to Pentagon spokesman John Supple, U.S. military help to Taiwan is based on an evaluation of Taiwan's defense needs and the danger presented by China. What is Australia's position? After Pelosi's trip to Taiwan, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese encouraged calm and de-escalation. In his speech on Wednesday, Albanese announced the beginning of a comprehensive defense review of Australia's armed forces. Our region is experiencing greater friction and strategic competitiveness, according to Albanese, and in the region where China has adopted a more confrontational stance. We oppose any unilateral changes to the current situation. Additionally, we'll keep cooperating with allies to advance harmony and stability across the Taiwan Strait. After Pelosi's visit, the federal government was keeping an eye on the issue, according to Defense Minister Richard Marles. Many security experts think that if China attacked Taiwan, Washington would expect some level of military help from Canberra. The Australian tabloid quoted former Defense Minister Peter Dutton as saying that it would be inconceivable for Australia to not join the U.S. in sending troops to defend Taiwan. And in October of last year, former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott gave a confrontational speech in Taiwan in which he lashed out at the Chinese government. During his speech at a national security symposium attended by Taiwan's President Ma Ying-jeou and Minister of Foreign Affairs, he referred to Chinese President Xi Jinping as the new Red Emperor. Over several decades, Australian administrations have followed the U.S. policy of not publicly declaring whether they would come to Taiwan's defense if the island was invaded by China. What do you think about this war? Do tell us in the comments section below. We will see you soon in the next video. Please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.